What is going on, guys? We're back. Another episode of Bet Legends. It's Kyle here with Beau. Today we got SallyPicks coming on the show. Sally, what's going on, man?
I just want to start off by saying pleasure to be here. We've been trying to get this going for a long time. Back and forth. I'm talking a few months now, and finally I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I love what you guys are doing, and thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude, we've been like you said, we've been trying to get this going for a while. And even to go way back, we used to do like the NFL show, way back last year. We were getting on live all the time. So finally good to chop it up with you on here and talk a little bit about who you are, what you're going through. I guess we'll just kind of kick it off there. Give us a little like insight if people listening, watching, they might not know you. Kind of tell the people who you are and what you're about.
All right, so my first name is Salvatore Vincenzo Tandoy. I go by SallyPicks 585. The 585 is actually the area code from where I live, Rochester, New York. I just turned 40 years old. I've been into sports, gambling, betting. Ever since. I remember. I'll tell the story. I remember being probably 10, 11 years old, and my father would bring the newspaper home. That's back in the day when you had the newspaper and it had all the teams who were playing each other with the helmets. And my dad at a very young age would give me the paper. He'd be like, Sal, pick me a couple games. So, me not really knowing nothing about nothing, I want to make my dad proud though, I want to make my dad proud. So, I'd circle a couple games and the following week, but before the following week, I would start reading about teams. I would start watching Sports Center, and then when he would come to me the following week, I would actually start winning for my dad. So at a young age, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty good at this, I'm pretty good at this. At that point, I was just doing it just to make my dad proud, A little kid wanted to make his father proud, and I thought it was really cool, And, growing up in an Italian family, I would go plowing with my father, and I would be 15, riding with my dad. And at the end of the night, we would stop. But we would stop. It would be like an underground gambling joint. We'd go down these stairs. They would be feeding me. What do you want to eat? This and that. I would be sitting there, and these guys, old guys, would all be playing blackjack. You'd have the girl delivering drinks, cigarettes, and I just thought it was so cool. I was like, I want to be just like this when I get older. I just thought it was the best thing ever. So, I got into gambling real early. My grandfather, when I got my license, I'd have to drive to OTB every day, watch the horses race, and it's in my blood, and I love it. So I kind of took it into, just being a bettor, and then I went to Vegas 3 or 4 years ago. I went to Vegas, and at that point, I wasn't selling picks. I was nobody. I was just Salvatore Tandoy. I went live, not live. I would just record, some of my bets on Instagram. And when I was in Vegas, I ended up hitting, I think it was 12 or 13 in a row. Okay. And after I hit that 12 or 13 in a row, that's when I started getting a following. I was like, wow, still never sold picks, still never wanted to sell picks. But then I would see and this would go on for probably a year and a half, guys. 2 years where I was giving all my picks for free. If you go on my other page, it's SallyPicks 585. That's the beginning of SallyPicks. I was just giving the world plays every single day. But then I would be watching, I'd be home, and I'd be on the Instagram, and I'd see these idiots. They're charging people for picks. They're horrible. They're just scamming people. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to start selling picks. I'm going to be an honest capper. I'm going to actually care about my team and try to make my team money. And that's where that started. And I fell in love with it. And, people like my energy. So through the way, I've built a connection with a lot of people. And, I look at these people. I've never met them in person. But a lot of these people are like family to me, man. I enjoy going on the computer. My train show, this is like a year and a half now, my train show. Literally, guys, I remember going on a train show, and I had a few originals. It was me. It was KV Nasty, Rico. It was, who was the other one we had? Chef Hoppich was in there. What's his name? Brasco. And I started the train, so there'd be maybe 10 viewers. Now it's a show where, I do it for the people. I get messages just a couple weeks ago. It's why I do it. I got a message from this kid. He, I'm not going to say no names. He deals with depression, And he says, Sally, I deal with depression. I deal with a lot of things, but I know at 5:30 I can turn the trade show on and I can forget about everything because you put a smile on my face. And that right there is what it's all about, you know? So that's a little bit about me.
Absolutely. And Sally, I can say everyone loves the energy, the passion you bring. Anytime you're on a live, anytime you're just giving out, you can feel the love. And I think that's what people gravitate towards. And, you know, it's always a big pleasure to, you know, get on with you, watch what you're doing. Cause you know, we could tell you're excited about this. This is passion. You want everyone to win.
Yep.
And you know, it's a community, bro. So we really appreciate that.
You know, not a lot of people, and I'm not taking credit, but, you know, I started going live a lot, and you see a lot more people doing it now, you know, and built this community, and I think this community is awesome. It really is, you know, but at the end of the day, people also got to understand this is gambling, you know, and this is a big boy sport, you know. People got to understand. I mean, I can't win every day. It's just impossible, you know, and when you start selling picks, that's the one negative. You start selling picks, and of course, you know, I want to make my team happy. Actually, I went to Vegas. I was with your guys' panel pick. We were out in Vegas, and he's seen like how important it is for me to want to win. Not even for me, for my players, you know. Because at the end of the day, I don't know their circumstance, and I'm playing with their money, you know. But there's times where you lose, and when you lose, man, sometimes I get some crazy messages, and it's like, wow, man, is this really what I want to do? You know, people like that just don't know how to lose. And that's something that if you can't afford to gamble, one thing I could say on here, you shouldn't be gambling. You know, you shouldn't be gambling because it can ruin you if you don't do it the right steps, you know. And as I got older, I mean, I used to be crazy, man. I would lose 5, 6, 7 grand and not even care. But as I got older, you know, I got a family and stuff like that. I treat this like the stock market almost. I really do, you know. I'm a type of guy where, and anybody that knows me will tell you, I'm not a parlay guy, okay? I bet 1 to 2 games a day, and if those games don't go my way, tomorrow's another day. Before, oh my God, if I lost a game, I would be chasing for the next game. If I lost that game, I would chase on the next game. And one thing I could say to the people that are going to watch this is if you start chasing, you're never going to win. You're never going to win because when you're chasing, your mind's not into it, okay? You're all over the place, and you're just not going to win. So the best thing to do, walk away. Tomorrow's another day. My saying is, one bet a day keeps the bookie away. That's what I go with. That's how I go with it, you know? And I love it, man. I love what you guys are doing with this whole thing. I mean, I've had some crazy things with gambling. I mean, I can tell you guys a story if you want. Like, one of the worst experiences I ever had with gambling. I mean, you guys want me to tell you that experience?
Let's go for it. Let's just get right into it.
So I was 18 or 19 years old. I had just I had a Cadillac Escalade, brand new Cadillac Escalade. I was betting the football game. It was a Monday night football game. I think it was the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. And I had lost some money that week, and I put a bet in with this kid. I said I wanted to bet like $15,000. He came to my house that day. I'll never forget the kid's name. I'm not going to say his last name. His name was Andy. He came to my house that night to make sure I had the money. I had the money in the safe, okay? I said, look, I want to put all this money tonight on the Green Bay Packers, okay? I want to put every dollar on it. He goes, okay, came to my house. He goes, as soon as the game's over, you know, win or lose, I'm going to come back to your house, you know? I'm like, all right, deal, cool, you know? Well, I ended up losing, all right? And now I know the guy's going to be coming to my house. We got a snowstorm. It's a fucking blizzard. A blizzard, okay? And at that point, I didn't have the casino 40 minutes from me. I had to go all the way to Syracuse. We're talking 3-hour ride, okay? I said to my cousin, let's fucking go. We're leaving. He goes, what do you mean we're leaving? Where are we going? It's snowing out. We got a blizzard. I said, let's fucking go now. Grab the fucking money and let's go. I'm driving. We're swerving over. He's like, please just turn around. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm flipping out. I'm going to the casino. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I just lost 15 racks. I'm going to win my money back. I'm driving in this snowstorm. It probably took us 5 hours to get there. I get to the casino with my 15 grand that I'm supposed to be paying the kid that's at my house now. My father's calling me, telling me the kid's at my house, and I'm telling my father, look, tell him I have to see him tomorrow, okay? I got to see him tomorrow. I lose the $15,000 at the casino. every single dollar. I don't even have, on my father, I didn't even have a dollar to go through the tolls to get back home. So now I'm down 30 grand because I just lost 15 grand to the bookie, and I lost another 15 grand to the dealers at Turnstone Casino, and now I'm driving my brand new, okay, truck, Cadillac Escalade, and I don't have the dollar to go through the toll. So now I got to wait for the sheriffs to come. I got to give them my ID. I got to do all this shit. I don't even have gas in my truck. I'm like praying that I'm not going to run out of gas. I get home. I got no money. I just lost every dollar I had. And I know in the morning this kid's coming to my house to collect the $15,000. So, Dad, I fucked up. Dad, I made a mistake. What the fuck you talking about? What did you do? I told him what I did, and the kid came over, and I ended up having to work out a payment agreement with the kid. My dad took a loan out, ended up paying the kid, and I had to pay my father back probably 5-6 years. I had to pay my father back on a loan. That was the worst story of my life because I was chasing, because I thought I was cool. I wanted to put 50. It's a guarantee the Packers are not losing. They're not. That's when they had Brett Favre, okay? They had Brett Favre. They're not losing. They ended up fucking losing. I was sick to my stomach, and yeah, I'll never live that one down. My dad's dead, but before he died, I heard about that probably a couple times a day, you know? So that's one of the stories, man. That's one of them. But that's probably the most I've lost in one day, you know? It was sickening. Yeah.
Wild. We would love to hear stories like that, but hate to hear you lost $15,000.
Yeah, you know, and look at it's crazy to say that because, you know, now, I mean, I look at myself as one of the best, but back then, you know, I didn't know about, like, you know, studying lines. I didn't know about, like, just the stuff that you need to really know, like movement, money movement, and, you know, and back then I wasn't doing units. I didn't care about any of that. It was all or nothing, young, dumb, and full of cum, man, you know, basically just all over the place, dude. Didn't give a fuck. And look, man, for many years, man, it was like that, and it wasn't good, you know, but as I got older, man, if you treat this the right way, like a business, I mean, there's people that do good. There is. But Vegas, all these casinos, they're not built because people win, okay? They're built because people lose. They're built because people get out of hand and people don't know when to stop. People don't know when to walk away, okay? So that's the problem with it. You go to Vegas, people, they don't talk about it, but people jump out the windows all the time. When I was there the last time, right on Fremont Street, somebody jumped right out the window and killed himself. Right on Fremont Street. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know, that's like a prime example for people getting into this.
Yeah.
People curious about betting. It's like, you know, it's not all glory. And really the big losses are really what make us and kind of really, you know, change your mentality towards it. So it definitely sounds like that was the case for yourself.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of people do get lost in it. A lot of people make, you know, those plays, but they don't learn from their mistakes, and they just continue to go. Yeah,
until they have absolutely nothing. I mean, until they have absolutely nothing. And, you know, thank God at that point I didn't have a house, or at that point I didn't have a family. You know, I didn't have a kids yet, you know. So as I got older and I had kids and, you know, I had a house and, you know, bills and stuff like that, that's when you gotta, you know, look, man, you can't gamble and just not have the right mindset. And you can't gamble if you don't have the money. That's another thing. A lot of people start gambling like with these bookies. Now you really can't do it because if you got a site, you got to put the money in. But, you know, a lot of people would you know, gamble with a bookie, lose a couple grand, not even have the money to pay him, you know? So it's a big boy sport. And there's a lot of females that do it now too. There really is. It's become worldwide now. I mean, it's legal everywhere. You know, back in the day, it wasn't legal. I remember having to call a bookie, give him a number, you know, tell him what I like, and then at the end of the week, you meet up at a mutual spot and you get paid, you know? Now they've made it a lot easier, and, you know, it is what it is. But I mean, we all enjoy it. I think for me, it's that rush. I mean, to this day, when I place a bet and I'm watching a game and it's down to the end, it's down to the last couple possessions or the last few seconds. It's that adrenaline rush I get. It's the same kind of like it's just it's that feeling that you just like. I don't know. It's a feeling I get, and I'm not going to sit here and say I don't love it because I do. I do. You know.
One of the big things, I guess we talked about it a little bit, just one of the big things is we see, you know, as a page ourselves, we see people messaging us all the time saying like, what's the biggest lock for tonight? I need to pay off my credit card, or I need like this much money tomorrow. I'm going to put all my bankroll on this tonight.
Yep.
And it's sad when you see that, especially when you tell stories like you just had.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of that yourself? You probably, you know, you
all the time.
The clients, you sell picks. What do you tell those people if you get those messages?
I just got one actually. I just got one a few days ago. Someone's like, "All my bills are due. I don't have the money. I literally have a couple $100. Is there any way you could turn this couple hundred into a couple grand so I can pay my bills? I'm gonna lose everything." And I mean, you hear them stories, and as much as you want to help this person, you know, of course I want to help this kid. I don't want to see this kid not be able to pay his bills and all that. And I got to tell him, look, you got $200. I mean, it's not much to work with, but I got to start you off at like $10, $15 a game, you know? I mean, I can't tell you to bet the whole 200 on it, and then if you lose, you got nothing, you know? Basically, and look, I was never a units guy, and now I'm starting to do that because there's people out there that aren't disciplined. Okay, they're not disciplined. You tell them, man. I remember about 8 months ago, I would say I got my grease the wheel max play, and in my Telegram they hear max play, and if it would lose the next day, someone would be like, "Oh, I lost 7-8 grand on it." Why did you put all that money? Well, you said max play. So I had to stop that real quick. I'll still say like grease the wheels play, but then I'll explain to my people, look it. But if you got $1,000, put like $100 on it. You know, if you got, you know, not the whole fucking thing. Okay. And then I signed, I signed the contract. I'm actually with the Pig Vault now. I didn't even talk to you guys about that. I'm with the Pig Vault, which, he found me on about a year ago. He found me on Instagram. He had one of his agents or somebody called me. This kid Carlos is like, look, my boss from the Pig Vault. He loves your energy. He's been watching you. He wants to know if you guys can talk, this and that. So for about a year, we were just friends. There was no business involved. I mean, we would do podcasts, stuff like that, and we just became really close. And he came to me with an offer, and he was like, look, I want to bring you in on my business. I want to give you 40% of the Pig Vault, help me run it. You could be the face of it. And, I took him up on that. At first, I was a little skeptical just because I didn't want my people thinking like I was leaving them, and I didn't want them to think like, I was moving over to another thing and I wasn't still me. And I made that clear to them. Look, guys, I'm still me. I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to move you guys over here. And the thing with the Pig Vault, it's a great app, man, and it's very easy. And we've been doing so many updates to it. But it's an artificial intelligence, okay? Basically, what it does, okay, it takes the teams and it does a bunch of it does a bunch of stats with it. It just it figures out like how many times they played, and look at the end it gives you a projection. It's got a 74% chance of winning. It's got a 60-something% chance of winning. And look at. Is it always right? No. Is it something that when growing up that I believed in? No, I didn't. But the more that I see what this computer does, and that's why he brought somebody like me in, though. Now you got not only do you have the stimulations, the artificial intelligence, you actually got the human instinct, okay? The human instinct where I could, my grease the wheel place has nothing to do with the AI. My daily max place has nothing to do. So you got both the best worlds. And let me tell you something, guys. The last 3 days, this stimulation has been 21-2. 21-2 or 21-3. I mean, with baseball and hockey, it does some crazy shit, man. It really does. So I joined with the Pig Vault, and we're doing a ton of cool stuff. We really are. Right now, we're giving away a Klay Thompson signed autographed jersey to anybody that signs up. It's $49.99 a month. $49.99 a week. We got a Telegram. You can join the app. Our month is $175, and look at it, the app is just so easy. And like I said, I'm on there, and if I'm on there, I'm trying to get people to win. So
let's talk a little bit about. I just want to know kind of where your energy comes from, and then you got the train show going along too.
Yeah.
Where does that all come from? Like, where did that all originate? Is that always just been you? And like,
The messages like this kid's on an 8 ball of coke, this and that. Like people think I'm like all fucked up on drugs, and that's not the case, man. I got a lot of energy. I've always had energy, and I don't know, man. I'll tell you how it started with my energy as well. I've always had the energy, but Brasco was doing. He used to do when he worked with the Pick Profit, and he would go live. And I'll never forget this. I was just leaving FanDuel out in East Rutherford. I went to go see this kid Gorilla out in Connecticut. I ended up at FanDuel in East Rutherford. I actually had my kids because I took them to the water park. So on the way home, I'm on Instagram and I seen Brasco was on there, and he was doing some show, whatever. He was tapping people in. I've never been tapped in my life. I didn't even know what a tapping meant. I didn't know nothing about it. So I'm like, let me press this request button. Let me see if he'll tap me in. Sure enough, he tapped me in. And when he tapped me in, I went nuts. I just brought the energy. I went nuts. I said, yo, this is SallyPicks, and I just won a bunch of money. I am the man. I just started, the myth, the fucking legend. Oh, my God, I can't believe you just tapped me in. Look at me, guys. Remember this name. And I just started flipping out. And Brasco's sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, with this look. And I just went nuts. And then when I got off, he started talking. He's like, bro, I feel like running through a fucking brick wall right now. That dude just brought so much energy. Wow. After he got off later that day, he actually messaged me. He's like, dude, I don't know where the fuck you're from. I don't know anything about you, but wow, you brought the fucking energy today. Ever since that day, he would tap me in. Other people started like recognizing me. Other people would tap me in, and that's really how all that started. And I always say to Brasco, I said, you popped my cherry with the tapping in, because it sounds crazy the way I'm wording it, but Brasco was the first one that ever tapped me into where I went live. That's where it started. And then after that, the rest is history, man. I did the train show, and the train show is probably one of the most popular shows, I think, on Instagram. I really do, man. Our numbers are pretty good, and I don't even care about all that. It's just the messages that I get is why I do it. I mean, I told you guys about the kid with depression. I got people that say, like, they wait. I got neighbors that are next door neighbors to each other that wait to watch my train show. They invited me out to L.A. They got tickets for me to come to the Bills-Rams game. I got tickets to go to a Chicago Bears game. I got tickets to go all over the world just for people that are my fans. I will legit, if I get a client and I call somebody, you don't know how many times I've heard somebody say, oh my God, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity. And I'm like, dude, I'm just SallyPicks, man. I'm just SallyPicks. But at the end of the day, it makes me feel good, man. It makes me feel good. So
I love that. And appreciate you shouting out Brasco. It's funny, man. We've had multiple people kind of just mention I forget who it was exactly we had on the show, but they're like, he's the godfather of the live chat. And it's like, honestly, that's very true. So I'm glad he's getting his roses.
Yeah, definitely, man. And this whole thing, like, it's like I said, man, I look at it as family, man. I look at you guys as my family, man. When I go on and I tap people in, and it gives me, because I struggle too. Like, I'm not perfect. People see me all energized and all that and think like I'm happy all the time, this and that, and that's not the case. So when I do go on and I can forget about things. I can forget about a lot of things, and I enjoy it. Even though I haven't never met you guys in person or met the people that come on my lives every day. I really enjoy it. I do it for the people. I'm all about the people. It's us against the casinos, and the gambling. That's only one part of it. That's like. That's on the back burner. If you could change somebody's life to where, like, if they're struggling or they have an issue and they could just message me and I could help them and walk them through it, I mean, that's what it's really about. That's what it's really about. And I've met a lot of people on here, a lot of people that do struggle, that if it's drug addiction, if it's depression, if it's gambling, if they just broke up with their girlfriend or they're going through a divorce. I mean, I've had it all. So where, like, yeah, I run a train show, but sometimes, honestly, I feel like I'm a counselor, like, to people that reach out to me from all over the world. And And a lot of people are like, wow, I can't even believe you're writing back to me. Like, I try to get back to everybody. I really do. Sometimes I can't because I get so many messages, but I legit will go in my room at nighttime when I'm done with the day, and I'll just go through messages. And, if I can get through to people, I will. I really will. That's what we do it for. So.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you, Sally, if you could give one piece of advice, anybody out there, whether they're, people on the train show, people watching the train show, people looking to get into this, what would you say is the best piece of advice you'd give them?
The best advice I can give is, you gotta really, like, you gotta know, first of all, if you're looking to get a capper or something like that, there's a lot of people that scam. And what's our guy from Panel Pick? He calls out a lot of scammers, There's a lot of scammers, especially in this business, okay? If you're coming into this thinking you're just going to make money and you don't need to, like study or be careful, you have to, man, because this could take you. This could eat you and spit you right out to where you have nothing. And you can't if you're going to come into this, because I know a lot of people be like, yo, I want to make it a second income, could you help me? I'm trying to make it into a second income. You got to make sure you have money over here to take care of your bills, to take care of your family, to take care of your obligations. And then if you have a little bit of extra money and you want to gamble with it, that's one thing. But don't take all your eggs, okay? Don't ever take all your eggs and put them all in one little basket. Because let me tell you something, okay? Bad things can happen. You could lose it all. And you just got to be disciplined. This is something that you have to work on, being disciplined. You have to work on, look, if you lost a couple games that day, you got to learn to know, look, I'm done for today. Tomorrow's a different day. Because I said it earlier, once you get in that mind phrase and you're losing and you start chasing, nothing good's going to come out of it. Nothing good is going to come out of it. So just you got to be careful. Because at the end of the day, it is gambling. At the end of the day, people have lost their whole life savings because of this. It is though. A lot of people, they'll win their first time beginner's luck or whatever it is, and it's like they get fished in. And at the end of the day, this is an addiction. It's an addiction, just like drugs is an addiction, just like sex can be an addiction. Gambling is an addiction, and you just got, with any addiction, you got to be careful, and sometimes it's too late to get out. So you got to make sure you do the right thing and treat it like a business.
Couldn't agree more. I think that's the biggest thing, especially nowadays with it being legalized everywhere. You can get it right on your phone now, no matter where you're at. It's so easy to just dump money in, and a lot more losing nowadays than winning, it seems like. And that's the thing. I think the losses are more memorable than the wins for the most part. Two quick questions for you, Sally. First one, do you have neighbors, or do you live with anyone? And when you have the screaming going on, do you bring your energy? Is that something that's
so
people are telling you quiet down?
I got neighbors right next to me. I got the house right next to me, the house right over there. Just when I win, I get the energy and I scream out that window and I'll be like, hey neighbors, and you guys know what I do. You want me to do it real quick? Let me do it for the people. Brothers and sisters. Let's race wheels. Let's jump on the motherfucking train and let's fucking go. So. I am the man. I am the myth. I am the fucking legend. There ain't nobody better than Sally fucking Picks. Let's fucking go. Choo. Yeah. Woo. Fucking love you guys, man.
Grease the wheels, baby. Grease the wheels.
Grease the fucking wheels, man. Grease the wheels. I can't wait to football season. I can't wait to go through games with you guys. We're doing that every Sunday. We can do something like that again. I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited. I'm so happy that you guys had me on this tonight, man. It was a pleasure. We've been trying. I think I might have been one of the first ones you guys asked to do it, at least the top 3 or 4, and it just never happened. So I'm so glad that it happened. I really am.
It's been awesome, man. We can't wait to get this one out, show the people what's going on.
Me either, man.
Always appreciate you tapping us into the show too. You got a ton of people in there all the time. It definitely helps us out. So we appreciate that back.
I appreciate it. Just thank you so much. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and I'm gonna get a bunch of people over to look at this. I'm so excited to see the finishing product. Just keep me posted, and always come to the train show, man. I'd love to tap you guys in. I'd love to get you guys' knowledge on games. You guys are very smart. I always take your guys' opinions very highly. So keep in touch. And I can't wait to football season. I can't wait till this comes out. It's going to be the best one. This one's going to be the best one because it's got Sally motherfucking Picks. The fucking legend. There's only one Sally Picks. There's only one. And he's right fucking here. He's right here, ladies and gentlemen. Sports fans around the world. They don't come a dime a dozen like Sally Picks. Let's feast wheels. Let's jump on the train. And let's go. Choo choo. Love you guys, man.
Love you too, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, Sally.
Good night. Woo!